it's almost like a celebration. We're not talking about the type of celebration that causes us to stop our activism and causes us to chill. But it's a type of activism, a type of celebration that re-energizes us, inspires us to increase our work and to increase our efforts. Why is it such a celebration? Because those of us who've been at this work for a long time can remember 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, there was information about the apartheid state that wasn't out. That there were people at that time who were not speaking out like they should have. Now we're witnessing a whole different type of climate. We're witnessing people who are no longer being afraid of being called anti-Semitic. We're witnessing people who are no longer allowing themselves or allowing other people to use the Holocaust as an excuse for the subjugation, exploitation, and degradation of the Palestinian people. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, he used to make a prayer. He said, "Oh Allah, let me see things as they really are." 8, 9, 10 years ago, people didn't see things as they really were in the apartheid state of Israel. They saw the boy with the rock and thought that that was Goliath, and saw the Israeli soldier in the tank and thought that was David. They were not seeing things as they really were. They saw the Palestinians as terrorists, and they saw the corrupt, vicious IDF as freedom fighters. They weren't seeing things as they really are. But now all praise is due to Allah that today the people are seeing things as they really are. That the Zionist entity, the apartheid state of Israel, is just that. It is an apartheid state devolving deeper and deeper into becoming an even fuller apartheid state, and that will be the end of their rule. So in spite of the media campaign and the propaganda, the millions and millions of dollars of propaganda, you have people waking up, not just Arabs and Muslims. You have people of all colors waking up and seeing things as they are. Our brothers and sisters, as an African American, my African American brothers and sisters are realizing, wait a minute, we know oppression. We definitely know oppression. And when we look at what's happening in Palestine, many African Americans are realizing that now we have to side with the Palestinians. They are the oppressed people and the Israelis are the oppressor. You have other white folks, progressive white folks, people of conscience, other people of color who are realizing now we have to side with the Palestinians. People are seeing things as they really are. And on this beautiful campus of UCI, you see Intifada. You're presenting a problem to those who want to perpetuate the myths and the propaganda. You're presenting a problem because you're saying that the emperor has no clothes, and so when the foreign minister or whoever that guy was, ambassador, who came here and spoke and tried to be all erudite and educational and so on and so forth, trying to give Zionism a pretty face and so on and so forth, you stood up and you said the emperor has no clothes on. How dare you come to this campus, especially UC Intifada, how dare you come to this campus and try to present Zionism as something that is righteous, something that is moral, something that is holy, or something that is upright. How dare you? You have forfeited your right to free speech because you believe in ethnic cleansing. You believe in putting people in concentration camps that we call Gaza. You believe in degrading people and stealing their land, and you have the audacity to come here as if you're doing something honorable. And you gave so much inspiration to struggling people all around the world when you stood up and you told him, get yourself out of here. We don't want you here. But in spite of all of that propaganda, Zionism and Palestinians, the Palestinians are criminals, they're terrorists, and so on and so forth, that people are seeing the light. They're seeing things as they really are. Look at the polls, poll after poll. After Gaza, see, oppressors will always be arrogant. And in their arrogance, they'll think they can do anything. That's why arrogance always precedes the fall. We want the oppressors, no matter who they are, to be as arrogant as possible. Because the more arrogant you become, the weaker you become. The more arrogant you become, you begin to see things backwards. The more arrogant you become, you actually think that you can kill and murder and massacre people in broad daylight and think you can get away with it. The more arrogant you become, you think that you can invade Gaza. When the majority of the entire world wasn't thinking about Gaza, you thought that you could invade Gaza, break the people's spirit, destroy their will to resist, right? And no one would watch you, and no one would respond. That's that arrogance of the oppressor. We want them to get more and more and more arrogant. And so after they went into Gaza, one poll said that American voters calling for support of Israel, the numbers plummeted. Another poll, voters believing the United States should support Israel, dropped. The numbers dropped. One 2003 poll in the European Union named Israel as the biggest threat to world peace. That was in 2003. The people are seeing things as they really are. In 2008, a global opinion poll showed that Israel, the biggest obstacle to achieve peace in the Middle East. The BBC service poll on the eve of the invasion, 19 out of 21 countries had a predominantly negative view of Israel. 19 out of 21. The world is seeing things as they really are. And then, even in 2007, the ADL poll that Americans who have a favorable opinion of Israel was less than that of Great Britain and Japan. They was all nervous because they said the American people like Israel as much as they like Mexico and India, but they don't like Israel as much as they like Great Britain. See, what they are seeing are these numbers of support dropping all around the world. It's dropping because people are seeing things as they really are. So the criticism of the apartheid state, and we should always qualify Israel with the apartheid state of Israel, because this is the new apartheid of this particular era. Back in the 80s, it was South African apartheid, right? And they could use another revolution in South Africa, but that's another talk. But in the 80s, it was a South African apartheid. Now, in the so-called 2010s, the apartheid of the day that must be fought and destroyed and abolished is the apartheid state of Israel. Because so the criticism of the apartheid state has now broken into the mainstream of public opinion. The criticism of the apartheid state has broken into the mainstream of public opinion. This is critical. This didn't used to be. Churches, the Presbyterian Church, USA, the World Council of Churches, the United Church of Christ, the United Methodist Church, all supported initiatives dealing with BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. Because anyone who supports that racist entity, that corrupt entity, they have lost their own humanity. They have lost their own integrity. So they might be able to get a couple of Uncle Toms, you know, they might be able to grab a couple of Uncle Tom black folks to talk about support of that Zionist entity, but they can only get the Uncle Toms. They can't get the people of integrity. They can't do it because the people of integrity will tell it just like it is, because they're seeing things as they really are. And there's another development that's very, very significant. Y'all saw Avatar? I think all y'all saw Avatar. At least one time. You know the most powerful principle in Avatar was, in my opinion, and everyone has a right to my opinion, the most powerful principle, that's a joke, that's a joke. The most powerful principle in Avatar was you had the lead character who was a part of a racist entity, a racist army, who was going in to destroy another people's land, going there to destroy their culture. And what did he do? He saw what was happening to the people. He saw what he was doing, what he was helping to do to the people. And what did he say? I'm not with this. Matter of fact, I'm going to join the people who were fighting. This is an excellent, excellent example. There's a word in Arabic called asabiya. Asabiya means that you will support your own people in wrongdoing.